Thank you, Presiding Officer. I am pleased to open the final stage proceedings on the Edinburgh Bakers Widows Fund Bill. I would again like to thank my fellow committee members, Mary Fee and Alison Harris, for their contributions in progressing the bill to this stage, and I would also like to put on record the committee's gratitude to the clerks for all of their support. As there are currently 3 private bill committees on the go, all with the same membership, we have been seeing quite a bit of each other, and the Chamber will be delighted to learn that they can also expect to see more of us in this capacity as the other 2 private bills progress. In fact, the Presiding Officer, the preliminary stage debate on the Pout of Inchaffrey Commission Drainage Bill took place last week, and the Writers to the Signants Dependents Annuity Fund Amendment Bill the previous week. Members will no doubt recall the preliminary stage debate on the Edinburgh Bakers Widows Fund Bill 2, which took place back in September. To recap briefly, the Edinburgh Bakers Widows Fund Bill is a private bill introduced on 20th March 2017 and is being promoted by the trustees of the Widows Scheme. The overall objective of the bill is to transfer the property and assets of the Widows Fund to a new charitable trust. The incorporation of bakers of the City of Edinburgh was set up in medieval times to regulate the trade. The fund was established in the 19th century to provide financial support to the widows of the contributing members. However, an Act of 1813 limited membership of the scheme to men only under the age of 45. As I explained in my speech at the preliminary stage, in recent time members of incorporation have tended to be women or older men, neither category of which, under the terms of the 1813 Act, is eligible to contribute to the scheme. The last contribution to the fund was made in 1981, and the last annuity paid under the scheme was in 1997. Since then, there have been no qualifying beneficiaries. In 2013, the trustees decided that the scheme should not continue to operate in its current form and formally closed the scheme to new members. It was felt that there was a need for change, given the restrictions on the ability of the trustees to apply the assets of the fund as imposed by the provisions of the 1813 Act. The fund is not a modern financial vehicle, and with a finite number of potential beneficiaries, the trustees found themselves unable to apply the fund assets in accordance with the spirit of the fund. In place of the fund, the trustees intend to set up a new charitable trust, which will have the purposes of the advancement of education by supporting education and training opportunities in baking, and the advancement of the arts, heritage, culture or science by providing public information and promoting an appreciation of local baking and a history of the baking trade, particularly in Edinburgh. The new trust, the Incorporation of Bakers of Edinburgh Charitable Trust, has been approved by the Office of the Scottish Charities Regulator. At preliminary stage, the committee was pleased to recommend to the Parliament that the general principles of the bill be agreed to and that the bill should proceed as a private bill. At consideration stage, private bill committees are required to consider any objections to the bill and also to consider any amendments. In this case, Presiding Officer, there are no objections as was expected and no amendments were lodged. Consideration stage consisted of a very short meeting of the committee. At this, the final stage of the bill's parliamentary passage, I would like to reiterate that the committee supports the aim of the promoter to establish a new charitable trust, to enable the trustees to make capital payments to the potential beneficiaries, to dissolve the fund and repeal the 1813 Act. Presiding Officer, I am therefore pleased to move motion S5M 08596 that the Parliament agrees that the Edinburgh Bakers Widows Fund Bill be passed.
And now